Hey everybody, welcome back to the Working Man's Whiskey. I'm Bobby. I hope you're all having a good weekend. It's Sunday, so back to the grind tomorrow, but I wanted to get a review on here before the week starts. You never know what you're going to be dealing with once the work week starts, so here we are. So the one I want to review today is this one here, Nellie Collins, and it's called Nellie Collins Cin'amon Sin Tennessee Family Recipe Moonshine, and it says it was established in 1858. I'll tell you a little backstory, guys, because here's what happened. I walked into one of the local stores here in town at the end of last week, and saw this stuff in there, and I hadn't seen it before. I love the bottle right away. I mean, if you look at the bottle, it's kind of a rectangular shape. Kind of squared off bottle there. Looks like an old-fashioned, Old West style bottle or something. And the appearance right away kind of caught my eye. So looking at it, and it's like, okay, it's cinnamon flavored, moonshine, but cinnamon flavored whiskey, and that's of the flavored whiskeys out there, guys. Cinnamon's the one I can tolerate the best. So decided to give it a shot. I thought something that was established in 1858 probably has a good backstory to it. And I was right about that. I was reading up on Nellie Collins, the woman whose name is used for this whiskey here. She was born, I believe, in like 1895 or so. But her grandparents had a farm. Her grandfather farmed corn in Tennessee. Somewhere in Tennessee. Let's see, Knox County, Tennessee. She was born in Indian Territory, which is now Oklahoma, of course. But anyway, she spent some time with her grandparents on their farm, and they taught her the family business of making moonshine, and tradition went on, and pretty soon she was using it for I'm sure to have a good time, but also for her kids when they were sick. They'd get a cold or whatever, and she'd say, bring on the sin, or bring in the sin, and somebody would bring this whiskey in there, and the cinnamon flavoring isn't a new thing to this whiskey. The story goes, they made regular moonshine, just regular white lightning, and I guess for the younger members of the family, this is another story I read about. The younger members of the family thought the white lightning was a little bit too harsh, so she started adding cinnamon, and made it a whole lot easier to go down. So she made cinnamon. She added several different flavorings to her moonshine back then. So this is the present day product, of course. Not sure how close to the original it is, but I will tell you that this one, some of the moonshine that they're putting in stores now is kind of a low proof. When I think moonshine, I tend to think of something that's on the higher side of the 150 mark, 150 proof marker or higher. I know my dad's side of the family is from West Virginia, or at least part of my dad's side of the family. And so my grandpa came from when he was 18, moved to California when he was 18. But when I was growing up, I was told that my family back there were either coal miners and moonshiners. My great-grandfather and probably his siblings or cousins or whatever, my dad's uncles. So moonshine's kind of a traditional southern drink, of course, mainly. People do make it out here now in California. I've had the privilege of being able to sample some Moonshine, not sold in stores. So, it's, you know, won't say too much about it, but it's good stuff. Very good stuff if it's made correctly. I know the stores have to kind of dilute it down a little bit, or the manufacturers have to dilute it down, you know, for safety reasons and all that. You have to make sure it's totally pure stuff that's not going to kill you when you drink it. Because some people, if they do it wrong, it can be kind of dangerous. So anyway, this stuff, back to it. It's 66 proof, so pretty low in proof. You know, most of the moonshines you see in the stores are pretty low, somewhere in the 60s or even lower than that sometimes, up to, you know, 70 something. But they do have like Old Smoky. I'll be reviewing this pretty soon actually. Old Smoky, they put out they have a blackberry moonshine, which is great. I mean, I've had blackberry moonshine, the real deal, and it's great stuff. Blackberry moonshine in general. Haven't tried Old Smokies yet, so try that one along with the White Lightning that they have, which is 100 proof. So, you know, it's getting up there a little bit. We'll try that out as well. Old Smoky's pretty good stuff from what I've had. So anyway, back to Nellie Collins. I'll read you the back of the bottle here, and then we'll get to the review. So it says, Nellie Jane Collins, pictured on the front label, was born to Lindsay Collins and Mary Jane Wilson on May 18th, 1895, in Kenta, Indian Territory, in what is now called Black Gum, Oklahoma. Excuse me. However, Nellie's great-grandparents lived in Knox County, Tennessee, where Nellie connected with moonshine tradition. A special thanks to our great-great-grandpa, Solomon Old Sol Collins, corn farmer by day and moonshiner by night, beginning in 1858. It's our pleasure to honor our ancestry by bringing back their Tennessee family moonshine recipe to share with you. So maybe this is, you know, pretty close to what they were making back then. Like I said, I imagine it's probably a much lighter version of it, because yeah, I've never really heard of people making moonshine back in that area that's this low proof, you know. But is what it is, guys, and wanted to try it out anyway. The word moonshine catches my eye once in a while, and gotta try it, you know. So anyway, I'll show you the bottle too. It's kind of cool. That's Nellie Collins right there, of course, and nice little write up on the back. But I might save this bottle once I'm done with it. Yeah, I don't save too many of my whiskey bottles, but this one pretty neat looking. So anyway, on to the whiskey. Don't know how old this stuff is. You know, you never know with flavored whiskey. It's so hard to tell. You know, they tend to add coloring to it, so it looks like it has some barrel char, but you know, won't spend too much time on the color though. It just looks like typical whiskey color. So on the nose, I mean, it just smells like your typical cinnamon whiskey, Fireball, Sinfire. I know, you know, some of the other companies, you know, Jim Beam and Jack Daniels, you know, they have their own version of cinnamon whiskey now, so everybody's doing it. So anyway, let's go on just with the taste here. And it's good, guys. I mean, I do like cinnamon whiskey. If I'm going to drink any flavored whiskey at all, this is my choice. It's good. I mean, it's I don't know if they put anything in it to maybe some kind of syrupy stuff, but it's a pretty thick whiskey, to be honest with you. It's kind of clings to the glass pretty well there. So anyway, it's a good cinnamon whiskey. It's pretty spicy on the tongue, actually. It's got a little bit more spice, I'd say, than something like a Fireball or something like that. Fireball's good. I actually prefer this stuff. I would say and it was cheap. This stuff was $8 a bottle. So for $8 a bottle, if you see something you haven't had before, and if you're okay with having flavored whiskey once in a while, I would definitely recommend this. Kind of hard to rate out, guys, because I would put flavored whiskeys in a category of their own. To be honest, for what it is at the price and all that, I give it a solid B. Say 80 out of 100. It's a good whiskey, and if you guys see it, definitely try it out. I hadn't seen it around here before, so I definitely recommend it. And that's it for this one. I don't know. I don't think I really have anything lined up for sure right now. If you guys want to make a suggestion or anything, I may look more into the just the local whiskeys for future reviews. I do have, like I said, I have the Old Smoky Moonshines lined up to do. So there is one. I would like to maybe get a bottle of just the Basil Hayden's regular bourbon before too long. Another very good product from Jim Beam's small batch line. So Basil Hayden's great stuff. Anyway, that's it for this one, and hope you all have a good week, and I'll talk to you soon. Till next time, cheers.